Mathematics is the science of structure, order, and relation that has evolved from elemental practices of counting, measuring, and describing the shape of objects. It deals with logical reasoning and quantitative calculation, and its development has involved an increasing degree of idealization and abstraction of its subject matter. I am Sir Phil na nagsasabing, palaging piliin mong matuto.
Great day everyone, this is Sir Phil and this is Sir Phil's channel. Welcome to Math Class of Sir Phil. Okay, so today's lesson is about laws of positive integral exponent applying to zero and negative integral exponents. Our lesson's objective are the following. First is to apply expressions involving positive integral exponents to zero and negative integral exponents. Next is to perform the laws of exponents in simplifying exponential expressions. In this particular lesson, we're going to recall the different laws of exponent discussed from your previous mathematics grade. Let's start with the basic concept of exponents. Let's say, for example, we are given 5 cubed. 5 here is what we call the base, in which this is the number to be multiplied by itself. 3 is what we call the exponent, which tells us on how many times we multiply the number by itself, or the base by itself. 125 is equal to 5 cubed means that 5 cubed, or 5 raised to the third power, is the exponential form of the number 125. 5 cubed or 5 raised to the third power means 3 factors of 5, or we can express this as 5 times 5 times 5. So we multiply 5 by itself 3 times. For us to know if an exponential expression is in simplest form, we have to remember the following. First, all the exponents must be positive. Next, there are no powers of powers. Third one, each base appears only once. And number 4, all fractions are in simplest form. We can do this by applying the different laws of exponents. So let's start. The first law is what we call the product of powers. It says that if you are multiplying powers with the same base, keep the base and add the exponents. By representation, we can represent it as x raised to the nth power multiplied to x to the nth power equal to x raised to m plus n. Siguraduhin lang natin na same yung bases nila. Okay? So, ina-apply lang natin ito kapag same yung mga base. So, dito sa example natin, parehas x ang base. So, dahil parehas ang base nila, all you have to do is to add the exponents. Let's say we have 2 to the 6th power multiplied 2 to the 3rd power or 2 cubed. Since ang base nila ay parehas na 2, that is equal now to 2 raised to 6 plus 3. So, ang ginawa lang natin, in-add natin yung kanilang exponent. So, that is 6 plus 3, which is equal to 9. So, therefore, that will result to 2 to the 9th power, in which equivalent to 512. The next one is the quotient of powers. When dividing powers with the same base, keep the base and subtract the exponents. Take note, this is also applicable in same bases. Let's say, for example, we have x raised to the m power over x to the nth power. Or we can also represent this as division equation, which is x to the m divided by x to the n. That is equivalent to x raised to the exponent of the numerator minus the exponent of the denominator. So by example, by applying quotient of powers, we could have 2 to the 6th over 2 squared. All we have to do, since parehas naman ang base nila na 2, that is equal to 2. And then raise 2, yung exponent ng numerator minus sa exponent ng denominator. That is 6 minus 2. So pag sinimplify natin yan, that is equivalent to 2 to the 4th power, in which that is also equivalent to 16. Let's have examples here. Let's say for example, we have number 1, we have 3 squared times 3 squared. This is equivalent, since parehas ang base nila, ikokopyahin lang natin yung 3, and then i-add natin yung exponent, so that is 2 plus 2. So that is equivalent to 3 to the 4th power, which is equal to 81. The next is 5 squared times 5 to the 4th. Try this one. If your answer is 5 to the 6th power, you are correct. So, inad lang natin yung 2 and 4 since parehas naman na 5 ang kanilang base. Next, a to the 5th times a squared. If your answer is a to the 7th, you are correct. So, i-add lang din natin ang exponents. Next, we have 2s squared times 4s to the 7th. In this example, dahil may kasamang numerical coefficient, imumultiply lang natin yung kanilang mga numerical coefficient. So, the normal way of multiplying a numerical coefficient, so that is 2 times 4, which is equal to 8. So, what will happen now to s squared and s to the 7th? If your answer is s to the 9th, you are correct. So, i-multiply muna natin yung numerical coefficient na 2 and 4, that is 8. And then, dahil parehas naman sila ng base na s, so yun lang yung i-add natin ang exponent. So, that is 2 plus 7, which is equal to 9. So, your final answer will be 8s to the 9th power. Next, how about quantity negative 3 squared times quantity negative 3 cubed? Kung ang sagot mo ay quantity negative 3 to the 5th power, tama ka. We have negative 3 quantity raised to the 5th power, which is also equivalent to negative 243. So, i-multiply natin yung negative 3 5 times by itself. Next, how about s squared t to the 4th times s to the 7th t cubed? So, kapag may involved naman na dalawang variable, syempre, ang i-add lang natin ng exponent is yung parehas ang base. So, ang tinutukoy natin dyan is yung dalawang s at yung dalawang t. So, what will be your answer? Okay. Kung ang sagot mo ay s to the 9th and t to the 7th, you are correct. So, kinuha lang natin yung mga exponent ng s, that is 2 and 7. So, that is 2 plus 7. And then yung exponent ng t, that is 4 and 3. So, 4 plus 3. And then you simplify lang, your final answer is s to the 9th and t to the 7th power. Next, quotient of powers naman tayo. So, we have s to the 12th power over s to the 4th. So, according to the illustration a while ago, all you have to do is to copy the base and subtract the exponent. So, that will become s raised to the exponent of the numerator, which is 12, minus the exponent of the denominator, which is 4. So, 12 minus 4 is equal to 8. So, the answer is s to the 8th power. How about the next one? 3 to the 9th over 3 to the 5th. Okay. If your answer is 3 to the 4th, you are correct. So, minus lang natin yung 5 from 9. So, that is 9 minus 5. So, that copy the base 3. So, that is 3 to the 4th. And then, simplify lang natin. That is equivalent to 81. Next, s to the 12 t to the 8 all over s to the 4th, t to the 4th. So katulad ng ginawa natin kanina sa product, kung ano lang yung may kaparehas na base, yun lang yung pagsasamahin natin. So in this case, yung dalawang s natin dyan at yung dalawang t. So what could be your answer? Okay, kung ang sagot mo ay s to the 8 and t to the 4th, you are correct. So that is 12 minus 4 for s and 8 minus 4 for t. So your final answer is s to the 8 and t to the 4th. Next, we are given here 36a to the 5th, b to the 8th, all over 4a to the 4th, b to the 5th. So nakakita na naman tayo numerical coefficient. So kapag may numerical coefficient, as is lang, yung normal na pagdi-divide, ganun lang din gagawin natin. Ang a-applyan lang natin ng quotient of powers ay yung mga same bases. So yung 36 divided by 4, pwede na yan gawing 9. Okay? And then, yung dalawang a, 5 minus 4, a na lang. Hindi na natin lalagay yung 1 na exponent. Understood na yon kapag walang exponent. And then, b to the 8 over b to the 5th, 8 minus 5, so that is b cubed. So your final answer is 9a b cubed. So yan yung unang dalawang laws of exponent. Proceed tayo sa pangatlo. Power of a power. If you are raising a power to an exponent, you multiply the exponents. So example, meron tayong x to the nth quantity raised to the nth. So pag meron tayong exponent sa loob, and then may exponent tayo sa labas, so ang gagawin lang natin is to multiply the two exponents. So copy nyo lang natin yung base dito na x, then multiply natin yung exponent sa loob at sa labas. So that is m times n. Example. We are given 5 cubed or 5 to the third power quantity squared. So kinuha natin yung base na 5 and then minultiply natin yung 3 and 2. So 3 times 2 is 6. So your final answer is 5 to the 6th power. So that is power of a power. Next. Power of a product. Sabi dito, if the product of the bases is powered by the same exponent, then the result is a multiplication of individual factors of the product, each powered by the given exponent. In representation, if we have quantity xy raised to the n, so pag meron tayong different elements sa loob ng quantity, tapos may exponent sa labas, i-distribute lang natin yung exponent to each element na nasa loob ng quantity. So, ang lalabas, that is equal to x to the nth multiplied to y to the nth. So, parang nag-distribute ka lang ng exponent sa bawat element na nasa loob. Kahit may numerical coefficient yan, pati yung numerical coefficient ay magkakaroon ng exponent na nasa labas. So, example. We have a, b quantity squared. So, may dalawang elements tayo dyan, dalawang variable, which is a and b. So, i-distribute lang natin yung exponent na nasa labas dun sa bawat element. So, that will become a squared, b squared. So, the next one is the power of fraction. Yung ibang libro, tinatawag din yan na power of a quotient. So if the quotient of the bases is powered by the same exponent, then the result is both numerator and denominator, each powered by the given exponent. Parehas halos ito doon sa number 4. Pero this time, this is a fraction or division. So kung may element tayo na x over y quantity, tapos may exponent sa labas, i-distribute lang din natin yung exponent sa numerator at sa bawat element ng denominator. So that will become x raised to n all over y raised to n. So by example, kung meron tayong halimbawang 2/3 quantity to the 4th, so ibig sabihin applicable din siya sa mga numerical coefficient and numbers. Yung mga normal numbers natin, mga constant. Okay, so may 2 and 3 tayo sa numerator and 3 naman sa denominator. So i-distribute lang natin yung 4 for each element doon sa numerator and denominator. So, magiging 2 to the 4th over 3 to the 4th. And then, by simplifying, that is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. That is equal to 16. And 3 times 3 times 3 times 3, that is equal to 81. So, let's proceed with the exercises. So, let's have this one. Quantity 3 squared, quantity to the 5th power. So, probably this is an example of power of a power. So, copy the base and then multiply the exponents. So, that is 2 times 5 equal to 10. So, your answer is 3 to the 10th power. Next. Quantity a cubed, quantity to the 4th power. Kung ang sagot mo ay a to the 12th power, tama ka. So, ang gagawin lang natin is to multiply 3 and 4. So, 3 times 4 is equal to 12. So, copy the base lang, which is a. Next. Quantity 2a squared, quantity cubed. Okay, kung ang sagot mo ay 2 cube a raised to 2 times 3, tama ka. Simplify lang din natin. Ang 2 cube ay 2 times 2 times 2. That is equal to 8. Tapos simplify natin yung exponent ng a. That is 2 times 3, which is 6. So your answer is 8a to the 6th power. Next. Quantity 2 squared a to the 5th b cubed. Quantity squared. This is an example already of combination of power of a power and the product of a power. Okay? So, power of a product. So, i-distribute lang natin yung 2 sa bawat element dito. So, lahat yan magkakaroon ng 2. At the same time, application of power of a power, i-multiply natin yan sa mga exponent dyan sa loob. So, magiging 2 raised to 2 times 2, a raised to 5 times 2, and b raised to 3 times 2. And then, simplify lang natin lahat yan. That is equal to 2 to the 4th, a to the 10th, and b to the 6th. Tapos, yung 2 to the 4th dito, pwede pa natin i-simplify. 2 to the 4th is equivalent to 16. And then, copy na lang natin yung mga variables. That is a to the 10th power and b to the 6th power. Next, negative 3a squared, quantity squared. So, this is now equivalent to negative 3 quantity squared times a raised to 2 times 2. So, negative 3 times negative 3 is positive 9. And then, we simplify this one. So, this is now a to the 4th. Next. How about we have s squared t to the 4th, quantity cubed. Kung ang sagot mo ay s to the 6th, t to the 12th, you are correct. Next. Quantity s over t, quantity to the 5th power. So, this is the power of a fraction or the power of a quotient. So, distribute lang natin yung 5 to each element sa numerator and the denominator. So, this will become now s to the 5th over t to the 5th. Next. How about we have 3 to the 9th over 3 to the 5th quantity squared. So, this is naman an application and a combination naman na power of a fraction and then yung power of a power dahil may exponent nga sa loob. So, i-multiply lang natin yon. So, i-distribute natin yung 2 sa numerator and the denominator. So, that will become 3. Or pwede rin naman, pwede kasi mangyari 3 raised to 18 over 3 raised to 10. Tapos, subtract natin using the quotient of a power. So, magiging 3 to the 8. Or pwede namang sinubtract nyo muna dito since parehas nga kasi sila ng base. So, 9 minus 5 is 3 to the 4th. Quantity squared. Tsaka natin i-apply yung power of a power. So, 4 times 2 is equal to 3 to the 8. So, maraming way na pwedeng gawin dito sa number 8. Next, we have st to the 8 and rt to the 4th quantity squared. So, una sa lahat, ang makikita natin, yung t to the 8 tsaka t to the 4, pwede natin i-simplify using quotient of a power. So, subtract lang natin 8 and 4. So, 8 minus 4 is 4. So, matitira na lang sa taas. Okay, kung saan yung may mas malaking exponent, dun yung may matitira. So, that is, ang natira na lang, st to the 4th over r na lang. So, wala na tong t to the 4th sa baba. Kasi, sinubtract na natin. So, 8 minus 4 is 4. Quantity squared. Tsaka natin i-distribute yung 2 sa bawat element sa numerator and sa bawat element sa denominator. So, this will become now s squared. Tapos, power of a power, 4 times 2. So, that is t to the 8 over r squared. So, the final answer is s squared t to the 8 over r squared. Next, we're given 36 a to the 5th b to the 8th all over 4 a to the 4th b to the 5th quantity squared. So, pinagsama-sama na dito ang quotient of a power and then power of a power. So, basta pag magsosubtract lang tayo, kung saan yung may mas mataas na exponent, dun natin ilalagay. So, dahil may numerical coefficient, i-divide lang din natin yan. So, 36 divided by 4 is 9. Okay, so a to the 5th divided by a to the 4th, 5 minus 4 is a. So, 1 na lang ang exponent niyan. So, hindi na kailangan ilagay. Tapos, yung b to the 8 over b to the 5th, 8 minus 5 is 3. Quantity squared. So, dahil may exponent pa sa labas, didistribute pa natin yan using the power of a product. At the same time, meron ding power of a power dito. So, nagko-combination na tayo. So, this is now distribution to 9 squared, a squared. Tapos, power of a power dito, 3 times 2. So, simplify lang natin. 9 times 9 is 81. Copy a squared. Tapos, b raised to 3 times 2 is 6. So, 81a squared, b to the 6th. Next. Sa pang-anim naman is the negative integral exponent. So, sabi dito, if the base is powered by the negative exponent, then the base becomes reciprocal with the positive exponent. So, ganito yan. So, if you have x raised to negative m, that is equal to 1 over x to the m. Kabaliktaran naman, kung nandito naman yung negative sa baba, magiging ganito naman siya, pero positive na exponent. So, ginagawa yan para matanggal yung negative exponent. So, kinukuha lang natin yung kanyang reciprocal. So, kapag na-reciprocal na natin, dapat mawawala na yung exponent. So, meron tayong example dito. So, kapag ganito, 5 raised to negative 3, reciprocal lang natin sa magiging 1 over 5 cube. Kung napansin nyo, tanggal na yung exponent niya. Basta nakuha na natin yung reciprocal, tatanggalin na natin yung negative. Okay? So, magiging positive na yung exponent niya. So, simplify lang natin. That is 1 over 125. So, doon sa another example naman, nasa denominator. So, ibig sabihin, 1 over 3 raised to negative 2. So, ang reciprocal niya, pagbabalik-tarin lang natin, magiging 3 squared over 1. So, dahil 1 na nga lang sa denominator, pwede na siyang hindi ilagay. I-reciprocal lang natin, magiging 3 squared na lang siya. Kung mapansin natin, positive na yung exponent kasi nga, na-reciprocal na siya. Basta pag na-reciprocal na natin, gagawin na nating positive yung exponent. So, 3 squared simplified, that is equal to 9. And finally, we have the zero power. Sabi dito, any base powered by 0 exponent is equal to 1. Example, x to the 0, that is equal to 1. So, kahit ano pa yan, basta naka-raise to 0 or naka-enclose to raise to 0 power, that is equivalent to 1. Tulad nito, 5 to the 0, that is equal to 1. A to the 0, that is equal to 1. Ito naman, dalawang element, naka-enclose sa quantity or parenthesis to the 0 power. Basta naka-enclose siya, ibig sabihin magkakasama siya sa loob, tapos naka-0 power siya doon, that is equal to 1. So, be careful din dyan. Pag mayroon kasi minsan hindi naman kasama doon sa enclosure. So, hindi natin siya pwedeng isama doon sa magiging 1. Okay, let's proceed with the exercises. Okay, so we have 2a squared b quantity raised to the 0 power. So lahat yan naka-enclose. So automatic that is equal to 1. How about this one? We have y squared times y raised to negative 4. So may negative exponent. So kukunin lang natin yung reciprocal niyan. Or pwede rin naman dahil same base, di ba? So kapag same base tayo, anong ginagawa natin? Application ng product of a power, ina-add. So dahil yung isa positive, yung isa negative, subtraction yung mangyayari. So magiging 2 minus 4, that is negative 2. So magiging y raised to negative 2. Tapos dahil negative nga yung exponent, reciprocal lang natin, magiging magiging 1 over y squared. So positive na yung exponent. Next. Quantity a to the fifth raised to negative 1. So, pwede muna natin yung i-reciprocal. Kasi nga may negative 1 dito. So, reciprocal, magiging 1 over a to the fifth. So, hindi na nilagay yung 1 kasi 1 na lang siya. Understood na siya. Next, we have s raised to negative 2 times 4s to the 7. Okay. So, negative 2 plus 7 is positive 5. Tapos, kinopya na lang yung 4 kasi wala namang coefficient tong isa. Parang 4 times 1 na lang kasi yan. So, 4. Tapos, add the exponent. Negative 2 plus 7 is positive 5. Kasi negative isa. Next. Ito na. Quantity 3x raised to negative 2, y cubed, quantity raised to negative 4. So, nagko-combination na tayo dito, no? So, mangyayari dyan, distribute mo na yung negative 4. So, magiging 3 raised to negative 4. Tapos, negative 2 times negative 4, power of a power. So, magiging positive 8. Tapos, dun sa y power of a power ulit, 3 times negative 4 is negative 12. Pagkatapos nyan, may matitirang x to the 8 dito sa taas. The rest, ibababa. Kasi nga negative. So, kung nasa taas yung negative exponent, ibababa lang natin. Kung nasa baba naman, iaakyat lang natin para maging positive sila. So, yung 3 raised to negative 4 ay magiging 3 raised to positive 4. Kaya siya naging 81 na siya. 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 is 81. Tapos, yung y raised to negative 12, dahil negative nga siya, ibaba. I-reciprocal. So, magiging y raised to the 12 power. Positive na siya. Okay? So, parang lahat lang ng nasa taas, ibaba natin para maging positive. So, lahat ng nasa baba, kung meron man, dito wala eh. Ilalagay lang natin sa numerator para maging positive. Tapos, apply lang natin yung concept kanina kung paano natin malalaman kung simplest form na. So, dapat walang power of a power. Lahat ng exponent ay positive. Lahat ng fraction ay nakasimplify. Tapos, wala dapat umuulit na variable. Dapat lahat ng variable ay once lang makikita. So, gagamitin lang natin yung 7 laws na natutunan natin kanina para magawa natin yon. Okay, let's have more. How about this one? S squared t to the fourth quantity raised to the 0 power. Kung ang sagot mo ay 1, tama ka. Kasi nga naka-enclose yung lahat to 0 power. So that is equal to 1. Next. Try this. 2 squared over x, quantity raised to negative 1. So of course, sinimplify yung 2 squared, that is 4 over x. Tapos dahil negative 1, reciprocal lang natin. So magiging x over 4. Positive na siya. Kasi hindi na natin lalagay yung negative 1. Kasi understood na siya na may positive 1 dyan. Okay? Next. 3 to the 9th over 3 to the 5th, quantity raised to negative 2. Okay, so pwede muna nating i-simplify yung nasa loob using the quotient of power. 9 minus 5 is 3 to the 4th. Tsaka tayo mag-power rule. 4 times negative 2 is negative 8. So, negative yung exponent. So, reciprocal natin. So, that is 1 over 3 to the 8th power. Next. How about this one? S squared t squared over s to the 4th t to the 4th quantity raised to negative 2. So, ito naman, ginamit muna yung quotient of a power. So, may minus natin, no? So, 2 minus 4 is negative 2. Diba? And then, 2 minus 4 din dito is negative 2. So, yung same basis lang. So, we have s raised to negative 2, t raised to negative 2, quantity. Mas huwag natin kalimutan, may negative 2 pa doon sa labas. Tapos, gamitan natin ng power of a product. So, didistribute natin yung negative 2. At the same time, power of a power. So, combination na to ng mga rules. So, by using the power of a power, that is now negative 2 times negative 2. So, that is now positive 4. So, we have s to the 4th power. Tapos, t raised to negative 2 raised to negative 2. Power of a power ulit. So, negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 4. So, your final answer is s to the 4th and t to the 4th. And finally, let's try this one. 36a to the 5th over 4a to the 4th b to the 5th quantity raised to negative 2. Sige nga. Siyempre, yung numerical coefficient, divide muna natin. So, 9. Tapos, a to the 5th over a to the 4th. So, that is 1. Eh, may negative 2 pa doon. So, negative 2. Diretso na, no? Tapos, yung b to the 5th times negative 2 is negative 10. Tapos, inakyat. Nandito na siya. So, naging b to the 10th power. So, magiging 9 raised to negative 2, a raised to negative 2, and b to the 10th power. Tapos, ano natin dito. Ayan. Tapos, may iwan yung b to the 10th dito sa taas over yung 9 raised to negative 2, ibababa na natin. So, positive na yan. So, 9 times 9 is 81. Tapos yung a raised to negative 2, ibababa rin natin. So, magiging a squared na lang siya. So, your final answer is b raised to 10 to the 10th power over 81 a squared. So, positive na lahat ng exponent. So, tingnan nga natin. Magbibigay tayo ng solution dito and then identify natin or determine natin kung ano yung law of exponent na in-apply, okay, sa mga susunod na equations and expressions and equations. Kasi meron na tayo agad sagot. So, apply na lang natin, i-determine na lang natin kung ano yung in-apply na laws of exponent. So, let's start. S squared times s to the 5th is equal to s to the 7th. Kung ang sagot mo ay product of powers, correct. Next. R over S quantity squared equal to R squared over S squared. If your answer is power of fraction, correct. Next. We are given 3xy quantity to the 0 power equal to 1. Kung ang sagot mo ay 0 power, you are correct. Next. AB quantity cube equal to A cube B cube. Kung ang sagot mo ay power of a product, that is correct. Next. B to the 5th over B squared equal to B cube. If your answer is quotient of powers, you are correct. Next. 1 over c to raised to negative 4 equal to c to the 4th. So, kinuha natin yung reciprocal dyan. If your answer is negative integral exponent, you are correct. Next. T cubed quantity to the 4th power equal to t to the 12th power. If your answer is power of a power, you are correct. Next. Okay. So we have h cubed quantity h to the fifth. So another way to represent multiplication. So same basis din siya. So i-add yung exponent. So h to the 8th power. If your answer is product of powers, you are correct. Next. We are given x over y, quantity to the 6th power, equal to x to the 6th over y to the 6th. If your answer is power of fraction, you are correct. And finally, we are given p to the 16th, q to the 12th over p to the 12th, q to the 8th. So, sinubtract natin yung kanilang mga exponent ng mga same bases. So, 16 minus 12 is 4, and 12 minus 8 is 4. So, we have p to the 4th and q to the 4th. Your answer is quotient of powers. Again, you are correct. Congratulations! So, practicein lang natin lahat ng laws of exponent dahil sa susunod na lesson, magsisimplify ulit tayo ng mga combinations of these laws. And then, i-apply na natin itong mga laws na to in our lesson about radical expressions. Thank you for listening. Again, this is Sir Phil, and this is your Math 9 lesson for this day. And this is Sir Phil's channel.
Magandang araw! Welcome to our National High School Studio sa pangunguna ng aming